right, don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Promo code GoodFella1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Website, promo code, description. Thanks. All right, Dana White unveils his big grand scheme to take over boxing. Let's talk about it. We back, Goodfella Sports TV. I'll leave a few links in the description from Twitter. He did an interview with Sirius XM Boxing. And, a lot of questions that we had about Zuffa boxing. He kind of answered some of them. I think the majority of the major questions. And he said he ain't coming in to step on nobody's toes. Let's start off there. He said he spoke to everybody in the boxing minus Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya. He don't get along with Bob. Remember, Bob called UFC fans skinheads back in the day. And obviously him and De La Hoya don't come eye to eye. Oscar De La Hoya was blasting him and blasting pay-per-view, and then he turned around and did a pay-per-view, a UFC pay-per-view, or MMA pay-per-view, excuse me. So he doesn't see eye to eye with those guys, and a lot of people in boxing don't. You know what I'm saying? If you know, Al Heyman, Oscar De La Hoya relationship soured when De La Hoya had a little problem, with drugs, and he was making the company look bad. It was a rumor that Al and them tried to buy Golden Boy from Oscar. Maybe that would have became PBC or something like that, and Oscar refused to sell it for $100 million. So then, while Oscar was in rehab, they was running all the contracts out of the fighters he had under the promotional stable. Richard Schaefer was, and Richard Schaefer had to go away for 2 years, or I think it was 2 years per law. And Al created PBC, and then Oscar De La Hoya came back. Al gave him some of his fighters back. Santa Cruz, Matisse, Mir Khan, I think, went back over there. Then Al bought Leo Santa Cruz out of his Golden Boy contract because Oscar was trying to force him to fight Rigondeaux. So it was a big messy split. And then Oscar De La Hoya ran back over to HBO and Bob Arum. Bob Arum sunned him again. So it was a nasty split. So a lot of people don't get along with Oscar De La Hoya, especially Oscar. A lot of people don't like Oscar. Bob Arum, it is hit and miss with him. A lot of people just tend not to like Bob Arum over the way he treats his fighters and his messed up contracts. But hey, that is what it is. But he said he talked to everybody. He said he doesn't know everything in the sport. He don't know nothing, and he's going to rely on people to make those decisions, to help him make those decisions. So he's not coming in here being a know-it-all or being an ass, all right? And I believe he also said that he is looking to buy a PBC, all right? But he said he's not coming in here saying that he know everything or he's not trying to step on people's toes or nothing like that. So that's the good thing, you know what I'm saying? He says he knows how sensitive, I ain't going to say, well, he didn't say sensitive, but paraphrase, sensitive boxing people can be when you come in a sport and try to reinvent the wheel and all of that stuff, all right? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? He trying to come in. He trying to make the sport good. He trying to use his UFC model to model it in. And how do you get in? You got to get the major players on your team. Obviously, Bob and Oscar De La Hoya, they don't see eye to eye. But he said he has a good relationship with Eddie Hearn. He said it kind of got off on a bad foot when Eddie Hearn said that thought that he was trying to steal Anthony Joshua, and he was only trying to help make Anthony Joshua a bigger name over in America. And he said that, long story short, Eddie came, toured the UFC facilities, and they pretty much righted their ship. And he said he'd definitely work with Eddie Hearn. He's a cool guy. He said he spoke to Al, and Al is definitely willing to work with him. And now, Al Heyman, actually helped Dana White and the UFC get sanctioned to fight in New York. That was Al Heyman. They couldn't get any UFC fights, from what I understood, in New York. Because of Al Heyman, because they, UFC just didn't, deem it safe, I guess, and Al Heyman made it happen. So, it talks about the guy who owns UFC buying PBC, I guess, with Dana White. He bought UFC from Dana White. Dana White doesn't majority own it no more. He just runs it. But Dana White is really, really smart because, he only knows how to run it. The other guys can't run it without Dana White. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. But he said he spoke to Al. He spoke to everybody else. I'm thinking like maybe Lou DiBella, Floyd Mayweather, and a few other guys on coming into boxing. And I think it would work for him. But his model is trying to make it one belt. And I think that's what everybody is most intrigued about by his interview, is him saying that he wants to eliminate the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, and the WBC. And he has a really good idea on that, because he says you take the heavyweight division and the top 4 guys, you know what I'm saying? He said you can make fights for 2.5 years. He said if the best fighting the best, don't nobody give a hell about a belt, or they don't care what the belt is called. And he right. I think they need Dana White. I think boxing needs Dana White's innovation of how he did UFC, but it's gonna be real tough to get fighters out the mind state, and fans out the mind state of recognizing these belts. But I think it's a great time to do it, because the fans see all the bullshit with the IBF, the WBA, the WBC, the WBO, the Super WBA, the Super Franchise Champion, the WC Franchise Champion, the WC Diamond Champion, the WC Silver Champion. All these belts, I think he picking the right time to come in and do that. And if he can come in and create one belt, that's what's up. But Al Heyman, it was rumors that Al Heyman was going to do that anyway when PBC first started, was not recognized any of the 4 major sanctioning belt bodies, and he wasn't going to recognize any of the 4 sanctioning belt bodies because he was going to have a PBC belt. So if Dana White can come in and they can put their heads together and figure out that, it'd be interesting. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of his fighters want to become undisputed. Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder. So they're going to have to really, clear some hurdles. But they have to make their own fashion statement. I think PBC is the leader in boxing. They can make their own fashion statement. Their own fashion statement can be 1 belt, 1 champion. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Bob Arum won't want to get in on it, and Oscar won't want to get in on it. So they got hurdles to clear with that, man. But he right. He said everybody wouldn't work together. He says that Zuffa boxing fights will be on a UFC Fight Pass, and he says the networks came to holler at him. He didn't have to find the networks. The networks wanted to talk about him, about Zuffa boxing. So that's a good thing about Al. Al want to work with everybody. Al at one point wanted to work with everybody. Bob is the one that represented Al. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. He was the one trying to sue Al. He was the one that had WBO trying to sue Al. He the one that probably told Oscar De La Hoya to sue Al. And at the end of the day, Bob Arum fought out with everybody. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? He fell out with Al Heyman. He fell out with Richard Schaefer. Well, Oscar did. So at the end of the day, Oscar De La Hoya, he ain't even no player. You know what I'm saying? Without Canelo, don't nobody really care. Vidal Ortiz, he ain't on top yet. And he got a few other good young boxers, but he ain't no major player. Ryan Garcia, most of us feel ain't going to be that good. No way. He going to get exposed in due time. He got Al. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what you need. If you get Eddie Hearn, then you got the Zone, and you got Fox and Showtime. So I believe he could do it the right way. But we'll see if he acquires Premier Boxing Champions, or the guy that owns UFC acquires them, and see what they can do. But it's going to be an uphill battle with the belts and squeezing in and trying to change the tradition of boxing. First it was the 2 belts, WBA, I think WBC, then IBF, then the WBO. So they had to change the tradition. You know what I'm saying? I think it's best that they get all their fighters, do a fighter convention, get all the fighters you can, do a big fighters convention in Vegas, and educate them on where the sport can go and how the sport can go. And I think that's one thing he need to do. I don't know if that's on his mind, but he need to do a big fighters convention. Invite all the fighters there. You know what I'm saying? If they can gather up the money, comp the fighters to hotels, and do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday fighters convention, and maybe do a fight that weekend, a small little fight that weekend or something like that, like a WC convention or something, and inform the fighters on what they're trying to do. Not just say emails and memos. Get them all in the same room. Have Floyd come up there, have some legends come up there, and tell them the importance about starting their own belts and where you want to take the sport to. And then you might even get some Golden Boy fighters and Top Rank fighters that may be interested in it as well too. But hey, I'll link those sources in the description, the source link. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Promo code GoodFellow1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pomade, much, much more. Website, promo code, description. Appreciate the love, support. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, And you can reach out to the email if you got a donation. That link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. And for more sports talk, man, just keep checking us out. Share the videos and let me know what you guys think about what Dana White is planning to do in boxing. Will he succeed or not? We go.